gonna record on my graphics card just in case.
Cool.
Floor is
Hello,
yours.
Twitch. Hello to the world of Twitch. If you're interested in debate, please stay. If not, do something better with your Saturday night.
I'm gonna send it out to Luke and everyone. I think. Oh no.
Rod, you want a screen share?
Hmm?
Do you want a screen share? So we can see
Sure.
the...
Dak,
Yeah.
I sent you the stream
Why did you send me the stream?
just cause so you have
Check out the video.
just you have the video just in case.
Cause I'm committed.
Mm-hmm.
Cause I'm committed.
Alright,
Cause
Raghav,
I'm
you gonna start?
Okay, so just to be clear, you can see my screen on the stream, right?
Yes, I can see you
Okay, okay,
whenever
okay,
you're
okay.
on
I'm
the screen.
starting. Okay, everybody. Hello. Real quick, I'm gonna speedrun summary because for everybody who's not on the call, 3 minutes. Three most important things: offense, defense, winning. Offense is basically your case and your constructive and reasons why you should win. Defense is essentially your rebuttal and your response to them, which is your rebuttal, which I just said. And then weighing, which is comparing both worlds, usually the impacts. What I mean by worlds is that us in debate, we are policymakers, right? We're determining whether a country should do this or whether a policy should be made in the real world. It's all fictional, of course, but this is only for debate purposes. So based on that, you want to talk about whether if affirming or negating will result in a will result in a better world. What does that mean? So if I would affirm, right, and if nuclear war was my impact, preventing nuclear war, I would be like, okay, in the affirmation in the AF world, we would prevent nuclear war, which would save billions of lives, but also like let's say one of my other contentions was the economy. We would or like yeah would be like, okay, because of the rare earth metals that and resources we get from the Arctic, this will like boost the economy. This will like, how do I say this? Make up for natural resources and like extend and give energy sources to cars or whatever, right? That will happen in the app world. Whereas in the neg world, we won't get any of these benefits because of X, Y, and Z, whatever, right? So you're basically kind of comparing whether affirming or negating would result in a better net world, and for that, you usually want to focus on the impacts. So that's a worlds thing, okay? Quick kind of review. Extending is repeating arguments and points in the speeches after a rebuttal. So let's say speaker one said something in summary, like, oh yeah, we should, this is important, and speaker two should say that same thing in final focus in order to kind of hammer it down. It's called extending. It's called, you want to repeat and like explain the argument or point, whatever you make, okay? And yeah, and offense in summary, it's explaining the case, right? You don't want to simply just blindly read the case. You want to kind of explain it and like really go into what the points are, right? So this is something of how it would go. So you'd be like, okay, on my C1 contention one, we say this, we say this, we say this, and on contention two, we say this, we say this, we say this. But we say this shouldn't just be like saying one line and then like going on to like the next point, next point, next point. You want to really explain it in terms of the round and the topic. And then you do that for both contention one, contention two. But then after each contention, you want to acknowledge responses to what your opponent made, right? So obviously in the rebuttal, they're going to make some responses on your argument. They're going to be like, okay, well, they said this, we said this, right? But in your summary, you don't want to ignore those responses. You want to acknowledge it and then say why your argument still prevails. And this skill is called frontlining, right? So you want to extend your case and then frontline. What does that look like? It looks like this. On our C1, we say this. This is our impact in nuclear war. They said in their rebuttal that nuclear war is not probable, but we would respond that nuclear war in any scenario is probable, but then the afterworld makes it more probable because Putin said he would attack nuclear weapons whenever he is attack with nuclear weapons whenever he feels attacked. Therefore, the response is invalid or something like that, right? Obviously, way more structured, way more strengthened, but that's something what a frontline looks like. It's responding to your opponent's responses on your case. That's frontlining. You want to do that, this should take at least a minute. Trying to fully explain, right? You don't want to simply just repeat cards because that's what constructive rebuttal is for. You don't want to you don't want to say any new cards in summary. That's the thing. You want to extend the evidence that was already used and just frontline and respond effectively using your brain. So might be kind of hard because nothing's pre-written for you. This is all going off of your flow and off the top of your head. So it might be kind of jumbled, but don't worry, we'll keep debating to improve that. And then defense, right? They're gonna frontline on your arguments. They're gonna explain why your responses don't validate, but you're gonna keep saying why they do and give reasons and give new responses. So defense, extending arguments with your second speaker responses, right? So this is where your rebuttals are gonna really take place. You want to flow your opponent's rebuttal, or your partner's rebuttal. You want to flow it because you want to extend those responses into summary. They're going to frontline on you, and for second speaker summary, which is when you speak second, you have to respond to those front lines, which might be kind of annoying, but just kind of can make it quick. But yeah, those are the main three aspects of summary: offense, defense, weighing. Offense is what I just mentioned, extending its frontlining, and defense is extending your refutations. Summary is 3 minutes, so you want to keep it at like a 1-1-1 each minute, but obviously that's not possible. So what Elias so ingeniously mentioned is that you want to extend what is important first and then go on to what is least important next. Okay, that way you focus on the more important stuff, and it'll get you better recognition in the round and better likeliness that you'll be voted for. What else? Oh yeah, you don't want to waste too much time on little things that don't really matter. Like I just said, you want to focus on the more important things. That way, it's just common sense. And yeah, you want to really keep it simple. Explain. Really key to summary is explaining, and it tests your ability to how well you can say something that is complex and simplified into the non-complex, but also kind of really explain why it matters and why you should be voted for based on that. This really tests your explanation skills and your time management skills because you have so much to say in only 3 minutes. Usually when you first start out, you're going to find that 3 minutes is way too much time, but as you keep debating, you're going to find that it's too less time. It's kind of funny how that works. But yeah, that's summary. And after summary is grand cross, right? So this is questioning period. After summary, all 4 speakers involved, and you're only going to talk about impact stuff. Since the first 2 crosses have done, you're normally done with the clarification questions and all the stuff about links. It's going to come down to impact and why it really matters. And they're going to keep attacking you, and you're going to keep attacking them. So normally that's how it might go, or how it should go. But obviously cross comes to a lot of questions that I can't really tell you how it's going to go. You're going to have to know your case and stuff. Always have a question. The reason I said that is because the judge looks out for how well you are prepared and how interested you seem and how well versed you are on stuff. So always having a question makes it feel like, oh, I keep one attack, always attack, always attack, always attack. You know, never go on defense. Never be like, oh, you guys can have another question, because then you'll have 2 opportunities to kind of poke holes in your case when you'll have 0. So always have a question when it's your turn to have a question. Keep it cool. It's going to turn out to be kind of intense since all 4 people were speaking, but never be like, never yell. Never ever yell. Never like belittle them. Just keep it cool. If they start yelling, just be like calm and stuff, you know, just answer the question. Know what you know. That was kind of fast, and if you have any questions, ask Krishan, Elias, and Jack, or me. DM me. Final focus. 2 minutes. Really extend what's important and final focus. That was me making farting noise with my mouth. Extend what was said and summary that you want to bring up. Okay, remember, whatever you say in summary and you want to bring it up, should be used in Final Focus. Okay, these are the main points, the main reasons, like the big stuff, the nuclear war, the impact, climate change, the link turns, the impact turns, the drops. That should be brought up, and that should be extended properly, and really emphasize on that because that could be the game changer. The judge, if they know that something was said again and again and again, they're more likely to know, okay, this was said a lot. I'll consider it. They'll probably bring it up, and it might be a voter for you. So extend what is said. You cannot say something that wasn't extended. You cannot bring up a new piece of evidence or a new point. Everything should, in Final Focus, should be what was said in the first 3 speeches: constructive, rebuttal, and summary. So you want to really extend. Next, first thing you should be doing in Final Focus is like kind of, it's kind of like a mirror to summary, but you want to bring up voters, your reasons why you win, right? So a voter could be like, oh, we win on the economy, or a voter could be like, we win on the turn, we win on the drop, we win on the impact, we win on this, whatever topic, right? Nuclear war, climate change, economy, stuff like that. Indigenous groups, lack of whatever, the points is the reason why you should win. So normally what you're going to hear say, or what you're going to want to say is, okay, we have 2 voters. First is the economy, and kind of really explain what happened in the round and why that should be a voter. So explain how you win on that point. That's really what Final Focus is. It's like, okay, we win on the economy. We tell you that these facts are in our case, and they keep saying this, but like we really tell you that this is the case. $1.4 billion will be funneled into the economy. This is of great importance because of X, Y, Z, and this is because explain why you win, okay, and explain why that's true, and explain why you win. And / it's true, okay, and like, yeah, and usually you should have 2 voters. Because it makes it easier for the judge to like have something to vote off of, or else they're gonna have to make their own decisions. A good judge will vote off of what's given to them. If you don't give them anything, they're gonna make up their own reasons for winning, which you don't want to leave up to chance. At least when you say something or like why you should win, they'll like compare that to like why the other people say why they should win, right? And then they'll compare it. Whereas if you don't, then they'll just bring up an own reason, like, oh, you didn't bring this up, you didn't tell me why to win, so I'm just going to go off of what I think. A good judge will do that. A lay judge will make their own decisions, but it's best to kind of give them something to vote off of, just in case, right? That's how it should be. Explain on how you win on that point and how it's true, right? That's basically what Final Focus is. It's minutes, you're not going to have that much time. You just want to explain how something is, how you win. It's basically pretty simple, right? You want to you keep on disproving what they said, keep on saying what they said is not true, do a little bit of the worlds thing, like I said, compare the worlds. But other than that, that's really what Final Focus is voters, why you win, and bringing up the most important stuff and just kind of explaining why you win. If a piece of evidence, real quick, if a piece of evidence is really crucial to winning the round, you can just keep extending that and bringing that up and why it's key or why it was mishandled or stuff like that. And yeah, what was your question, Jack?
So it's kind of like another version of weighing it out. So it's kind of like, in summary, where you weigh both sides of the argument. It's somewhat
It shouldn't be the exact same thing, but it should be based off of what was said in summary. Yes, you can still weigh, but integrate your weighing into the voters. Like, a reason why you should win is this, and then kind of explain why it happens more on the AF than the neg if you're on AF, and more on the neg than the AF if you're on the neg. Right? It shouldn't be the exact same thing.
So I'd be like bringing up their evidence and then our evidence and then like comparing them and seeing like how ours is better or like
just
usable.
checking, it's second speaker that does Final Focus, right?
Correct.
Alright. Good to know, thank God.
First speaker does summary, second speaker does final focus. Remember, everything that you want to say should have some basis in being said before. Or everything that you say should have like been said before by your partner or like been important in the round.
What's harder, final focus or summary?
Usually they're both kind of hard because you have to kind of know what to talk about and talk about it effectively.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But summary, I would say, is a little bit more difficult because you kind of have to summarize everything in a span of 3 minutes and explain the nuances and the technicalities and the links and the evidences and stuff like that. And you have to give some responses if you haven't done so already.
So can
That
we
sort of thing.
do some practice summary sometime this week?
Yeah, we'll do it in practice, no problem.
Because otherwise we're definitely gonna be screwed.
Don't worry about it, dude. I'm him. I'll prepare you.
Alright, yeah, you're in.
In good hands. Okay. Yes. That is summary and final focus. If there are... I'll address questions now.
We are good.
I got nothing.
No questions, then that's the end of the stream.
Yeah, I have no questions.
Thank you for watching. Krishan, end the
Peace out,
stream.
Twitch.